This is Mother's Day. And almost everybody will greet almost every female person they see by saying, Happy Mother's Day. Well, sometimes it is a holiday, and sometimes that is quite appropriate. But I think perhaps just as many times, Mother's Day can represent feelings of melancholy, sadness, maybe resentment, anger. So my wish for all of us today is that if we have joyous sentiment and thought about a mother, may we taste that, may we really enjoy that. And if not, may we somehow transcend the melancholy or angst of whatever kind and feel peace and find joy in the beauty that is all around us constantly. Joy, peace, tranquility, harmony. Oh, those are the beautiful things of life, the experience of life. And so it is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. Two friends were walking through the desert. During part of their journey, they got into an argument, and one friend slapped the other in the face. The one who got slapped was hurt. Without saying anything, he wrote in the sand, "Today, my best friend slapped me." They kept walking on until they came to an oasis, and they both entered the water. The one who got slapped could not swim and started to drown, but his friend saved him. Once safe on land, he carved into the stone, "Today my best friend saved me." The friend asked, "After I hurt you, you wrote in sand, and now you write in stone. Why?" He answered, "When someone hurts us, we should write it down in sand and let the winds of forgiveness blow it away. When someone does something good for us, we must engrave it in stone so that no wind can erase it." Now, I suspect that particular story comes from ages ago, and I enjoy many TikTok videos, that's where I got it, and I wish I could tell you the source, but I'm still learning how to go back and retrieve certain videos. But the important message is this: write our hurt in sand, but carve our blessings in stone.
Kelly, thank you. And just so you know, I wrote that when I was in college. I think I did. I remember. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
In a little bit, we're going to sing It's a Special Day. And I knew that when I picked that song, and what's really special about it is Gloria Hafner has had a inward passion to ring the bell for decades. And today was her maiden voyage, and she did an excellent job. Thank you. And she got done, she said, "Well, the little boy isn't here. Can I ring the bell?" I said, "Sure." But then she finished that up by saying, "But I'm not mowing the grass." Oh, we had to postpone our board meeting this morning. There was, David tested positive with COVID, and we decided there wasn't anything that was going to maybe change the course of our life over the next 3 weeks, that we couldn't postpone the board meeting for a little while. So our board moderator made that executive decision yesterday afternoon, and thank you. And Thursday morning at 10 o'clock, there's going to be, well, is this Thursday or a week from Thursday?
It's this coming Thursday.
It'll be this coming Thursday?
Yeah,
Okay, 10 o'clock
and it's a spiritual book group.
in the spiritual book group at 10 a.m. Thursday morning in the hall. And then at 3:20 p.m., just to let you all know, oh, Joelle, come in. You'll be interested in Mike. This Thursday at 3:20, Recology is bringing new stickers and labels for the big bin. They're bringing indoor bins for compost and recycle and big things to put on the wall to tell everybody how to do that. As we will be putting into action our brand new and comprehensive waste management program here at Church of the Oaks. So thank you for your suggestion, Kelly. And I remind everybody, we do have a suggestion box, comment box. You can sign it. You don't have to sign it. You can even sign somebody else's name if you want to have some fun with it. And so it's back in the foyer. We are going to have Ward updated our website, and we now have our schedule for community cabaret. And this coming last Saturday, I think it's the 28th, I believe, we will be having Stony Point, which is very similar to the Bluebirds, and that'll be from 5 to 7 p.m. And there's a very cool thing about that, and we're just family here. Last time we had a bunch of very brave, very strong and eager volunteers set up for the cabaret, all the tables and chairs. Well, most of you are familiar with Music to My Ears. It's a little kids music class thing. And they do productions and they do some really cool things with the youngsters in our community. And I was talking to the owner of Music to My Ears, and she has done a lot of things here at Church of the Oaks over the years. Her name is Krista Duran. She used to be part of our classical music programs that we had here at Project Applause. But anyway, she said, is there a chance we could do a recital? And how much would it cost? We're on a very tight budget. A 2-hour recital on Saturday the 28th. I said, surprising you should mention that date. If you wanted to have it like from 11 to 1, your cost would be setting up tables and chairs for the cabaret. Yeah, we could do that. So I think for our group of somewhat limited human resource muscular ability, I think that was a real score on our part. So anyways, that's on the 28th. The next day will be potluck. Any other announcements? There are some, and I can't remember what they are. Oh,
Patrick and I got together, and you know, two broken people can make things get moved, and so we got the baskets out of here, and he went ahead and made sure that we're getting them over to the COTS people. So we've cleaned up what's in the back of the room, and we'll be on kind of like a little timeout until our next opportunity to give to our community.
they were delivered Friday morning at 9:05.
And the continuing reminder that the barrel for Noah is over in the hall, and we don't have to just fill it on potluck Sunday. You know, it's easy to just drop a little thing in as you can. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Well, in recognition of Mother's Day and Gloria's bell ringing and Wayne's outstanding piano services, let's stand up and say, oh.
Amy's birthday.
And Amy's birthday? Crying out loud, happy birthday, Amy. Well, then it is a special day. Let's stand up and sing. It's a special, special day. Aphrodite, we may now do what we do in a very special way.
Someone's ringing the bell, but you thought it was gonna be. You got a tug on that sucker. Good morning.
Oh, I'm doing okay. My suspender in the back came off. Pull it down, hook it right in the center.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't like that malfunction.
Oh, over the foot.
Yes, happy birthday. And many more.
Pass it around.
Happy birthday. No.
Right now, just one side over for the other. No, I'm just on my page.
It's a safety pin.
Yeah, I hope we got all that on video.
Yeah,
All
right.
the world to see. Thank you. One time. You just came off again. All right, never mind. One time. Got some new.
Yes, me too.
You think about your job, Mike?
Standing right here, I just went like I felt him go, and I had to stand here and hold my pants up. Okay, enough of this sociality. Too much socialism.
That's what it might be.
I'm sorry to stand before you in such a sagging fashion, but my suspenders broke. Just how it is. There was one other announcement that I neglected to remember in a timely fashion. The Healing Circle, Natalie's meeting will be canceled tonight. Hopefully it'll be back in gear next week. Any other announcements? Okay. We all know about the basket. We all know that abundance comes into every facet of our being. Let's repeat together the thing. To realize an abundant life, one must practice giving, receiving, and gratitude. May we ponder that a moment, sir. Thank you, Wayne. As we prepare ourselves for meditation, let's sing together, Only Believe.
unfortunately, because of her absence, we don't have Natalie lead us in the practice today. So Patrick asked me what I could do instead, and I can do a more typical old style meditation for us all. So I'm going to give us a guided meditation, one hopes, and I hope to have some music to go along with it as soon as this disappears. Okay, let us have a peaceful meditation. Relax right where you are, with your feet flat on the floor, your body erect but comfortable. Try to empty your mind of all thought. You can close your aura to all but your inner Christ. Let all other entities and any negative thought forms be healed on the outside of your light. As you listen to this beautiful music, I would like you to picture yourself in a beautiful glen, a valley full of green grasses and majestic redwoods and flowing streams. And know that all is perfect now. Let's relax and enjoy that vista for a moment or two. Now let us all gather up that scene and send it elsewhere. Begin to transport it to others that you know, or in our community, or in the world, who are in need of peace and tranquility. In this method, we can share our bounty with others so that they too can relax and enjoy. So let's join the rest of the world now in the same spot for a few more moments. Let us begin now to finish this meditation by expressing our true gratitude that we can actually enjoy not only this meditative vision, but we can also travel a very short distance to experience it all during our daily lives. And now let us take another deep breath and gently bring ourselves back into this other beautiful, peaceful place, our sanctuary, and know that all of our travels and experiences give us an opportunity to learn, grow, and share. Namaste.
Thank you, Ryan. Last week, Joan shared with us an announcement that there is a new variant of COVID around. And I had read a poem called A New Variant. Different kind. Please turn your order of service over and look on the back. And you can follow along or read along, whichever offers you the highest level of whatever they call that, perception. They say a new variant has been detected. Have you heard about it? Wildly contagious. It is believed to infect the mind's eye. They say it jams the brain and may weaken your old opinions. The machine of your mind may stop chattering and start to hum. They say the variant has, well, a side effect, compassion. Many report tearfulness, a tender heart, empathy for the stranger with 20 items in the quick check line, or the guy following too close in traffic. They say it will loosen your grip on your judgments and create space for curiosity. In fact, you might be rendered mute by all you don't know. And for sure, your immunity to wonder will be broken down. This variant, they say, will make you dizzy, distract you with the possibilities for simple kindness. You could lose your place in line and even forget why you're waiting, angry and afraid, in the first place. That's quite different. I wanted to find some numbers, so I went online. I thought this would be quite easy. How many COVID deaths have we experienced in the last year? The first year was horrid. It was, but in the last year, oh, they don't exactly tell you that right off. You have to kind of go through week by week, and just in California. And the best I could come up with, here recently, we've had about 50 deaths per week in California. And over the last 12 months, roughly, because the numbers, they don't know for sure if it was COVID caused or something, but they're saying somewhere around 3,200 people have passed away, presumably due to COVID. That's a lot of folks. However, instead of 50 a week, 400 people a week pass away in traffic accidents, 21,000 in the last year. And cancer, just one of the diseases, 1,200 per week in the state of California, 61,000 in the year. COVID's a terrible thing, it really is. But so is cancer, so is driving your car. How many of us stopped driving this last year because of the amount of deaths? It's all about our perception. And I get so, it's hard to watch television and to look at the newspapers, and because it's all designed to keep you afraid, or at least anxiety filled, so that you'll tune back in to see what to be afraid of tomorrow. You become addicted to that. This new variant that this poem is about letting that stuff go. Last week I talked about forgiveness. Why should we let 50 people a week passing away in this whole state wreck our day today? 400 people died in car wrecks. Why should we let that wreck our day? Life is for living. We're here to live this and have these experiences. And if we're sitting in a closet with the door closed with a blanket on and a mask, that's difficult life. I see Mass today and I think that is just quite thoughtful. It helps do what you can to spread reduce the spread. But I see so many people that live in constant fear. And every one of us in this room has had spiritual experience. We're aware that in spirit, there is no time, no space. There's nothing to be afraid of, nothing. There is only our perception and feeling of divine existence within our lives. I've got a couple things to talk about. I'm not sure how to go from one to the other well. So I'm just going to say some things. We hear a lot about, well, we'll just have positive thoughts. We'll always see the glass half full. Well, that's fine, except I really need 2 glasses of water. Actually, I'm supposed to have 8 glasses of water a day because I'm mature, seniorly. And yes, it is good that the glass is half full, but it's not enough. And that's not a negative viewpoint, that just is. I'm reminded of that quote, peace comes from accepting the world as it is instead of the way we would like it to be. And I think so many times in our quest to think positively, we think, I wish it was this way because it would be better and we'd all love each other, be able to hold hands. And in doing so, and having determination to have these positive thoughts, what that does to our inner self is create resistance, turmoil, and conflict. If we go to all of the monkeries in the world, the Buddhist monks, and they live in their little place, and they can walk out into society, and they have in Tibet. There's been terrible things, and China, and they see horrible injustice. And yet, they are at peace. They have found the way to accept the world. It just is what it is. They don't have to think it's good or bad, not judge, but they have learned to maintain the peace within their soul. And I can't tell you how many times I have heard Vivian Clark say, I refuse to let what you say or do disturb the calm peace of my soul. I've heard her say that hundreds of times, actually. How many of us can think about last week's message about forgiveness, about hearing about the new variants and the car wrecks and the wars? How many of us can say, okay, that's the way it is? But inside me dwells the divine. Inside me, I have the sea of tranquility. And I refuse to let the chaos created by other human beings that just love to create chaos, I refuse to let them disturb the calm peace of my soul. Might that be our mantra as we move forward? The new variant in my life is that I will try to be aware and maintain the attitude, I refuse to let your drama, your chaos, disturb the calm peace of my soul. If we could take that with us Every time we get in the car and go down the road and watch the crazies. Every time we get in a line at the checkout at the store. Every time we go to a kid's sports event and see the parents go ballistic crazy for a child's game. Every time we turn on the news. Every time we listen to politicians. We were designed to live in harmony with the universe. That's why we're designed at the factory. I know, I read the specs. But all the aftermarket stuff, you know, we've been taught for years, and here this doesn't necessarily fit with anything else, but as I think about my life, I've listened to the leaders and the news. Oh, we were supposed to be so afraid of communism, and then the terrorists, and then the economic downturns, and the bird flu and the chicken flu and all these things. And I think that the most detrimental quality of human beingness to humanity has basically been greed. I think it really, so many, there's exceptions, I'm sure. Some people are just born mean, I guess. But greed has been the foundation for so much violence, so much inequity. And if we could, all of us, just stop and think, I refuse to let other people's greed that causes so much pain, discomfort in this world. I recognize it's there. Probably not going to change it much. It's been there forever. But I refuse to allow it to influence the peace and tranquility of my soul. I refuse to allow it to make me part of the problem instead of the solution. I hope we all catch this new variant going around, an elevated awareness, an elevated state of consciousness, and I hope it becomes very communicable. That means catching, for you that have trouble like me with the big words. My dear friends, to live life and to show compassion and to show caring, we must allow ourselves to be vulnerable. To love, we must be vulnerable, because love isn't a one-way thing. It has to go both ways. And to do that, you have to tear down the wall, you have to open the gates, open the doors and the windows, and allow it to flow both directions. But we can do all that we possibly can do consciously to not allow the junk to disturb the beauty and the peace and the joy that exists in infinite quantity within each one of us. And in this vulnerable state of giving, of sharing, we can be upset. We can be impacted. It's up to us to maintain the ideal, the philosophy, the attitude, the intention. I refuse to allow the drama and the nasty things of this world to disturb the calm peace and love and joy of my soul. That's all I have. May we all catch and experience this new variant. And so it is. Let's let spirit flow, shall we? Wayne, would you play it through once? We've only done this a couple of times.
Recognize the tune. Amen.